welcome to the Skiffy and Fanny Show in 2026, the year of our Lord and the obsessively horrible year that is before us.
The distance between what is said and what is known to be true has become an abyss. Of all the things at risk, the loss of an objective reality is perhaps the most dangerous. The death of truth is the ultimate victory of evil. From Andor 2.9, welcome to the rebellion.
Was that pause deliberate? Oh, there was a long pause between victory of and evil. It made it seem much more like I got confused for a second and then a little scared. Anyway.
Are you worried that was aspirational, Shaun?
I really... No, I hope not. That last line in particular should not be aspirational. Evil. Okay, well, I'm Shaun.
Definitely not. I'm Trish.
I'm Jennifer. And today we'll share updates on the show and exciting things to come this year. What we most enjoyed in 2025 and what we're most looking forward in 2026 using our infamous arbitrary narrowing system developed by robotic groundhog prognosticators.
But before that, some announcement for our listeners and viewers out there.
So the main announcement is, if you weren't paying attention to us last year, shame on you. And if you were paying attention, you went to our website, you might have noticed we had many issues last year. We had a malware problem, and then we just found out at the beginning of this year that there's like SSL certificate problems that maybe we think we have solved at this point, but we won't know for like 2 and 3/4 months when the certificate expires to know whether or not it automatically renews. So if you've gone to our website in the last 9 months, it is very likely at some point you saw some form of security warning. Maybe your work computer blocked our website, or maybe the website didn't work and it said, careful, you gotta click the advanced button to get to the website. Anyway, I have been periodically bawling basically all year over this. It is driving us nuts. So right now, we're 50-50 we've solved it. So we're trying to proceed forward as though we have solved it, I hope. But in the event that we have not solved it, we may have to bring in somebody, which will cost us money, to come fix this problem, because it is beyond my area of expertise and knowledge. Which means that if we hit that point, our meeting for the year was we need to fix this, so we need to do a fundraiser. Now we're I don't know, maybe we're going to do a fundraiser or not. We don't know yet. But if we do, you're going to hear about it. So expect an announcement that we need money because this is beyond what we make. Which might be a good time to remind folks that we have a Patreon that you can put money into that helps us pay the bills. Please. I needed my hair treatments to get my hair back. I don't, that's kind of this is the announcement. That's it, really. The show's not changing really from last year. We're kind of doing the same thing, guys. There are going to be interviews. We're going to talk to professionals about their various professionally things. We're going to do independent film reviews. We're going to talk about movies. We're going to talk about books. We're going to do torture cinema, where we'll talk about supposedly bad movies that may or may not actually be bad. We're going to laugh. We're going to cry. We're going to try to bring you things that make you happy. And we're going to continue doing it on the Twitch at twitch.tv/alphabetstreams every Friday at 7 p.m. Except for one specific Friday when we will not be doing it, which is literally next Friday, which is February 6th, I think, because I will be at Capricorn. And that's just it. So there will be an episode, but it'll release on Monday, which is an interview, by the way. Okay, that's what I got. Any other announcements we need to go over? We good?
We're always looking for new contributors. If you think you'd like to write reviews for us, or if you'd like to be on the show, then we'll give you all our contacts at the end, and hopefully you can let us know that you're interested in talking with us about genre stuff.
Yeah, skiffingfandy@gmail.com if you'd like to reach out to us. Also, I would just note that we almost never get to talk to anyone releasing academic work on genre fiction, so that is you. I'd be interested in talking to you. So, I think it's just like wish lists. Wish lists of things we'd like to see this year. More of stuff we already like, and things we don't get very often.
You should drag Greg Wilson on here.
We have to drag Greg Wilson to come on this show. If you're watching, Greg, do you want to come on the show?
I mean, he's a professor, and I mean,
yeah,
he does.
He'd be fun to have on. Yeah.
Yes.
So anyway, okay. So there may be other things we'll announce throughout the year. If you'd like to kind of join the show, be on a show, that's still going on. skiffingfandy@gmail.com is a good way to reach out to us, unless you're in the Discord, and then you can reach out that way. This is kind of how Jennifer got on the show and has been on the show like 73 times in the last 9 months. I think it's 4, but 4 or 5, it doesn't matter. There's actually an episode with you coming on the Speculative Dispatch that I haven't released yet, so there you go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just ran out of time and I needed to sleep, so there we go.
Was
so
that
okay,
the time
so
I forgot I had to do Audacity?
yes, one of them was in fact that issue. Yes. Thank you. It's not that big a deal. It's fine. Okay, folks. So the other aspect of this episode, it's our looking back, moving forward, which means we got to talk about the stuff that brought us joy in the past, which was the year 2025, which is a year I'm sure many of us will choose to forget in about 10 years. But at least there were happy things that happened. And so with that in mind, I'm going to go to you, Jennifer. What were your happy things for 2025?
Well, the book that I loved the most last year was called Overgrowth by Mira Grant. If you want a hopeful, apocalyptic, one and done book, this is your book. And it has one of the best opening lines I have seen in a long time. It is, "This is just a story. It can't hurt you anymore." It's such a good book. And for those of you who don't know, Mira Grant is also Seanan McGuire. So all of her science fiction and biotechno thrillers are under the Mira Grant name, and all of her urban fantasy kind of that kind of stuff is under Seanan McGuire, and then she writes as Deborah A. Baker for some of her YA stuff, and she writes a lot. But this was such a good book. I mean, imagine meeting somebody who, and the first thing they tell you is they are a scout for an armada that is coming to take over the world. They just had been saying that since she was 3 years old. How would you react? What if your reaction may or may not change the course of the invasion and nobody reacts the correct way? It's a really good book.
Awesome.
That is the book that do you want me to continue on to the other?
Yeah, go right through them.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. For media, I chose the movie Sinners.
Ah.
It is the I think Ryan Coolidge, Jordan B.
Coogler.
John. Oh, what's his name? The actor. He plays twins.
Michael B.
Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan. This movie was beautiful, but it was also original. It was scary. The music in it was amazing. It was nice to see something that wasn't a sequel, that wasn't part of a franchise, that was wholly an original of itself. And the other thing that within it that I loved so much is when the woman said, "That ain't a haint, that's a vampire." They didn't go, "Oh no." They didn't tell her she was dumb or something. They were like, "Okay, you know what you're talking about. How do we deal with this?" That was so refreshing. I just
Mm-hmm.
loved that movie. And there's a scene, a 12-minute musical scene in it that's stunning. Just mwah, chef's kiss. And then my other what?
Just in agreement. That scene, moving through time with music, that was just amazing,
It was a real
and
barn
the whole
burner.
movie was great. Yeah, it was a work of art, as well as, a good vampire movie. And, also, of course, talking about
Mhm.
racism and various other, and
PTSD.
appropriation and various other issues. Yes, yeah.
And
Um,
16 nominations?
Prince Justin, yeah, 16, most
Oh, I
of it.
didn't.
Yeah.
I know it got a lot, but
And,
I mean, the acting
yeah.
is spot on. The layers of metaphor and
Mm-hmm.
not the stuff that's blatant is right there, but the metaphors themselves are really really good. Um, these are the kinds of things I look at when I'm reading as an editor. Uh, and
Mm-hmm.
thinking of storytelling, my last thing that I really 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 enjoyed last year was Hades 2, the video game.
Mm.
It is a roguelite video game. I don't play video games. I used to test video games, so I don't play them. And I don't play MMOs because they scratch my writing itch, so I don't do any of that so that I can keep working. But the thing, just like Hades 1, Hades 2 has a wide breadth of storytelling and mythology, and you get really invested in every time you go through the dungeon and you fail or you don't fail, you advance the storyline and the relationships between the characters. And so my husband plays, and I sit next to him, and I'm sort of a backseat driver, but not really. I'm just like I'm there to watch. It's like almost like watching a movie, but he plays the video game. So Hades 1 was one, I believe, a nebula for its writing. Hades 2 should be up there because it's such good writing. Um, and there were some twists that really surprised me. We found a couple of twists where I was just like, oh, I should have seen that coming, but I didn't. So those are my three really big things for 2025: Overgrowth, Sinners, and Hades 2.
Excellent. Excellent. All right, Trish, it's up to you.
Okay, for 2025, for me, the most impressive book was Death of the Author, a novel by Nnedi Okorafor. This is, I mean, the title, of course, is a play on the literary theory that, once a book is published, the author has nothing more to do with it, fly, be free, and people do with it what they want. But the book, a novel, is about an author who writes a book that takes off suddenly and unexpectedly. It's her first science fiction novel after a long career of writing serious work. And people love it, but the problem is it stops really belonging to her, so much as, she sees things spinning off in various ways. Meanwhile, she's trying to break free of her somewhat smothering family, which is used to taking care of her in various ways because she's physically disabled. Meanwhile, she's in a romantic relationship. Meanwhile, she decides to get high-tech experimental prosthetics to gain a measure of freedom. But that's only part of the book, because a lot of the book is set in the future, and you're reading it, and it looks like the book that she wrote, but eventually it turns out that maybe her whole story is written by a robot sort of person in the future. So it weaves together in really interesting ways. It has a lot to say about a lot of different issues. the protagonist, the female protagonist, is really strong, but in some abrasive ways, but also, she's kind of had to learn to be strong to keep herself able to talk at all. And I was just really, really impressed by it, and had some mind-blowing moments in it. So good on Nnedi Okorafor for writing that.
Cool.
Had to have some water. Okay, for media, I had been worrying whether to talk about Sinners, but since Jennifer picked that up, I get to just focus on Andor Season 2, which had 12 episodes airing in 2025. Mad props to Tony Gilroy, the producer, for having an incredible vision and carrying it out so wonderfully. And of course, props to all the actors and everyone else involved in it. This is a story about fighting fascism or authoritarianism, totalitarianism. It's a story about the rulers trying to control the story and lead it. It's a story about people trying to figure out how to resist creeping authoritarianism.
It's a hard word.
And arguing about how to do that effectively. It's inspiring and heartbreaking and terrifying and inspiring. And it's got lots of wow moments in it, and it's really, really timely and worth watching. And let's see, my other favorite for the year is another thing about resistance. It is Season 11 of the Revolutions podcast by Mike Duncan, which started in October 2024 but ran through June of 2025 through 30 episodes. And Duncan's first 10 seasons of Revolution were all about real, actual world history that happened, diving deep into various eras of history. But Season 11 was a fictional revolution that he wrote about, putting to work all that he had learned about how people act when they are rebelling and react, and factionalism and stupid people doing stupid things, clinging to power, and, the ways that things happen. And, I've been thinking about how to nominate it for a Hugo Award, and I know some people are planning to nominate it for Best Audio Drama or Best Drama, long form or individual episodes for short form, but I don't think it really fits as a drama, long or short form, because it's this guy reading a history book, a fake history book, and so it's not really acting so much as recitation, and he's really engaging and funny and snarky and smart, but I wouldn't call it drama exactly, so I am probably going to put it as best related
that was what
work.
I was thinking.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool.
And you don't have to have listened to any of the other seasons of Revolution. You can just start in on Season 11, and it goes from start to finish, and it's great.
Okay. I've got a 5.5 hour drive coming up, so I'll put it on my podcasts list.
Yeah. Oh, you'll be amazed. I do highly recommend
Excellent.
it. All right, so Shaun, what would you like to tell us about 2025 things?
Okay, well, I'll start with the book. Last year, we got to interview Susanna Morris for her book, Positive Obsession, The Life and Times of Octavia E. Butler. And that book, I think, had a pretty big impact because I was teaching Dawn just like a month and a half after we interviewed for that book. So it had a pretty big impact on me talking about Dawn and Butler's work in general. I am, of course, teaching Dawn again this semester, which I'm excited to do again. It's a really good book. It gets into like the very personal sort of perspective from Octavia Butler's life, like her perception of her writing, what she thought about what she was doing, her thoughts about some of her own stories and work that she did. It's a very interesting work, pulling on some of the archival material that we have of Butler, trying to tell a more personal history of a kind, which I think is very valuable rather than a sort of purely sort of academic historical account. And so I really strongly recommend it. It's very readable. It's weirdly not a very long book, and it is really quite good. So read it. And if you don't, I'm just disappointed in you. Yeah. Media thing, which is just me being selfish, and I don't care because the 2025 was a nightmare. That is all of the independent films that Daniel and I got to watch, write, and talk about through this podcast. Some of them came from Strike Media, which is a distribution hub, or from Deaf Crocodile, which is doing re-releases of older films, especially like European science fiction. We got to watch some old East German science fiction films, which I was just really excited to talk about these and think about some of these films. For me, it's just really exciting. The sort of historical side is really fun because I'm getting to kind of talk about films that like nobody talks about outside of like academia. And then the like independent film side I found like really helped bring a little bit more of my love of film back. I love film just in general, but I got a little bit exhausted by every film being a superhero movie or just costing $600 million. I like superhero films. I just want to be clear. I'm not like Marvel sucks or whatever, but I'm just a little burnt. I want a little bit more different kind of storytelling. And a lot of the independent films we got to watch, not all of them are necessarily great films, but they did interesting things. They had different approaches. I liked watching films that had to tell stories with limited budgets and had to figure out how do you tell a good horror story or a good science fiction story, but you don't have a budget for, $3 million for giant spaceships and stuff. You've got 25 cents and, like an old tin can. What do you do? That to me is really exciting to watch. I like that creativity. So that way I just enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. We're going to do more of that this year. It'll come back up later. So that was that. And then my other is also selfish, and I don't care because it was my opportunity to talk about two films, one of which you all make fun of me for, and one of which is genuinely a film I just adore. And I actually read the original novella for this film last year as well, which I suppose I could put in book. I got to be on two podcasts to talk about these. One was Reserved Recommendations to talk about Nightbreed. That is Hugh Dingwall's podcast. It's a fantastic film. I love that film, and I'm so glad I got to talk about it because it's just beautiful. It's a wonderful film. Watch the director's cut and all that, but still. And then I got to be on Fine Beats and Cheeses to talk about Mac and Me, which everyone makes fun of me for, and I don't care because I genuinely love that film, and I will never stop loving that film. I also released something on my blog about it, and you all can eat it. You can just eat it. It's a great film, and I love it. So I also taught a film class. I'll just mention, like, I picked it up like last minute. They needed someone to pick it up, and I was like super stoked, and I had a lot of fun. So anyway, despite all of the work. So that's me. There you go.
I was thinking several of our contributors couldn't be here tonight on the stream or podcast, but sent in written recommendations. Shall we just read out? Each person pick a person and read them out?
Well, there's three
Daniel,
people,
Sandra,
so I'll
and Paul.
take Daniel. Jennifer takes Sandra, and you take. No. We can't have that. No. You gotta do Sandra. Jennifer, you'll do Paul because
Okay.
No.
Fine.
No, I'll do Sandra. Jennifer, you do Daniel. No, can't have that. I'm trying to figure out how do we get it to where the person covers the person they know the least. You two know Paul too well, so you can't do Paul. But I can't do Paul because I know Paul.
And which Sandra is this?
You do know Sandra. You've been anyway. No, okay. I'll do Daniel. Jennifer, you do Sandra. Trish, you do Paul. It's fine.
Okay.
Let's not. Anyway,
fine.
As Paul says in chat.
Let's not overthink this.
Everyone knows Paul. This is true. Paul has been around for close to 10,000 years. So, yeah. Anyway, so Daniel's favorite book is a tie between Uncertain Suns and Other Stories by Thomas Ha, who we interviewed actually for the podcast, and Lost in the Dark and Other Excursions by John Langan. His media thing is Hundreds of Beavers, directed by Mike Cheslick, which came out in 2022. I know nothing about this. I assume it has beavers. And then his other...
Maybe it's about the environment.
Anyway, his other thing is the AGFA Secret Society.
So secret, I have no idea what that is.
I'm afraid I know nothing about that.
He didn't leave us any note about it. He just said AGFA Secret Society. So, like...
Very well.
The Alien Gopher Fish Association? I'm going to feel really bad finding out what it is, and it's actually, like, really important. And I'm going to feel like a piece of crap for making a joke. Okay. Anyway, Jennifer, you continue with Sandra's.
Okay. With Sandra. Her book was A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping by Sangu Madana. The perfect romance at the perfect time when I read it, which sounds amazing. Her media was The Great Flood, directed by Kim Byun Woo. Not without its problems, but I give it kudos for being the disaster flick I hadn't expected to be a sci-fi flick, which is great. It means I want to go look at it. And the other is Draw Steel, an interesting change from D&D 5th edition. So I'm guessing Draw Steel is an RPG. So,
yes, I've heard of it. I haven't watched it or played it. Okay. And for Paul, his book recommendation is Duology, The Witch Roads, and The Nameless Land, a duology of fantasy novels from Kate Elliott, set in a new and rich fantasy world, with Elliott hitting all the power chords. For media, Pluribus, aired on Apple TV in fall and winter of 2025, constantly surprising, interesting, thought-provoking, with some great acting. And for the other, he says, I don't know how to pronounce this, Ball X Pit, or Ball Times Pit, a roguelike game inspired by Balatro, Vampire Survivor, and Arkanoid, for those who remember it. And I guess that's it for our 2025 favorites. Shall we move on to 2026?
Yeah, so what are we looking forward to? So, Jennifer, you started the cycle last time, so you start the cycle again. What are the things you're looking forward to in 2026?
All right. What did I write down? I don't write these things down. I don't remember. All right.
They're there.
Okay. So the book is called Strixhaven, Omens of Chaos by Shaun McGuire. It is a Magic the Gathering book. Now, do I play Magic the Gathering? No. Do I care about Magic the Gathering? No. Do I really like all the fiction that is being put out by Magic the Gathering, like Doomhaven and Strixhaven and Lorwyn and such? Absolutely. The fiction has grown by leaps and bounds. It's amazing. So I'm very excited about this novel. It's a young adult novel set in the magical universe, the magical university of Strixhaven. Now, media, it's another podcast. Old Gods of Appalachia is the perfect horror podcast, and season 6, Long Seasons, Long Shadows, has just started, and I am so excited for this. The way Old Gods of Appalachia, I think eldritch horror set in the Appalachian Mountains, but not Lovecraftian eldritch horrors, just eldritch horrors. Written by Cam Collins and Steve Shell. Steve Shell, they're both voice talent. Steve Shell is an award-winning beat poet and has such an amazing command of his voice. Cam does too. They have built an amazing world with Old Gods of Appalachia. It is so good. I say go to Supercast, I believe it's what it's called. Hold on. I said, yeah, Supercast, Old Gods of Appalachia, the Holler. Just listen to the 10-minute introduction. and you'll be hooked. You will be absolutely hooked. If I ever do another podcast, that is the podcast I want to be when I grow up. It's that good. And then the last thing that I'm looking forward to, it's kind of a little wrap up of a number of things. Like, I'm doing a Twitch stream with Arvin Elrond, Greg. The end of the Oracle of War is coming, and we will be level 20. And so I'm very excited about that. I'm also going to go to CanCon this year, where I will get to see one of the players in the game and see Marie Bilodeau, who is one of my best friends. So I'm also very excited about that. And my final thing, if you are looking for a little joy and whimsy in this world, you can't look any more. Kevin Hearn has something called Oberon's Post Club, where you get a letter written by Kevin Hearn from Oberon from the Iron Druid series. You get a monthly letter and a postcard and a piece of art. And it's amazing. OberonsPostClub.com. Get some whimsy and joy in your life. And my first mailing just went out, so I'm really looking forward to it coming into the mail. It's not a bill or somebody trying to sell me something. So.
Now, Oberon, that's the name of the dog
that is
in
correct.
the Iron
Now, here's the
Druid
thing about
series, right?
I will read the Iron Druid series. It's been on my to-read forever. But I picked up Oberon's Bath Time Stories, the collection of short stories, because I wanted something to amuse me. And it was laugh out loud funny in an airport. Like, I couldn't stop going, Jeff, look at this. Jeff is the husband. I ended up going and buying all of the Oberon stories, the Purloined Poodle, the Cockatoo and the Cocktail, or whatever it is. And I handed the books to my husband because he was looking for something to read, and I have many things to read. And he ended up buying all the Iron Druid books one by one because he liked the short fiction so much. So I will get to the Iron Druid someday. I'm sure I will enjoy the hell out of it. But in the meantime, Oberon's Bath Time Stories are amazing. And so get a letter from a dog. He's a giant Irish wolfhound.
That sounds adorable.
Yes.
So, Trish, what about you? What are you looking forward to in 2026?
Well, I'll just mention first that I'm absolutely looking forward also to Old Gods of Appalachia Long Shadows. I just listened to the first episode, or the prologue, or whatever it is, today for season 6. And yeah, this is such an amazing series with the mythology that they've created for themselves, and it, really mind-blowing and echoes of other legends, but very, very, very much its own thing and internally consistent as much as eldritch magic can be. Really great characters, people, who are trying to make the world better against people who are trying to have things all their own way. Yeah, it's a great series. For my, book that I'm most looking forward to, obviously there's a lot of stuff coming out that I hope to be surprised by, by people I haven't even heard of yet. But for things that I know that are coming out next year, this year now, I'm really looking forward to The Faith of Beasts by James S.A. Corey, which is the second book in the Captives War series, which started with the first book, The Mercy of Gods, which I reviewed for Skiffy and Fanty. It's a great opening of, humanity has been conquered by aliens, and some of them are, trying to figure out the best way to survive under domination. Maybe later on rebel, maybe, but for now, learn what the deal is and how to survive. And that was basically the point of the first book. And the second book, I don't know if it's going to be from the point of view of these same humans, from the point of view of some aliens that are allied with them, or from, a whole other group of people, but I'm sure it's going to be fascinating. And Corey, of course, is the joint author of the Expanse series.
Right.
As for media, I'm really, really enjoyed Murderbot Season 1. And I am absolutely sure I will enjoy Murderbot Season 2. I have heard that what they're going to do for Season 2 is combine books 2 and 3, and that's a big relief to me because I loved the expanded cast of Season 1. It's a series, the book series is all told in Murderbot's voice, but in the TV show from Apple, we got to see a lot more of the people that Murderbot interacts with. What was basically the supporting cast in the book became much more important and interesting and developed in the series, and so I was afraid, since book 2 has Murderbot going off by themselves and, not interacting with that group of people anymore, I was afraid we were going to lose that wonderful cast. But if they're combining books 2 and 3, in book 3, Murderbot goes back to the group of, explorers and scientists, and so they're going to mix it up together somehow. I don't know whether they'll just, do it linearly or if they'll do flashbacks or what. But anyway, loved Murderbot, loved the action and the great emotions, but also the humor, the fun, the whimsy of it, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of that.
Cool.
And for my other, let me drink a little water, sorry. For my other, I am looking forward to joining a role-playing game campaign on Twitch. It'll be streamed on Greg Wilson's Arvin Elron channel. The name of the campaign is going to be The 13th Icon. Prince Justin will be the game master. I will be playing a dragonborn druid in it, which should be an interesting and fun combination. And along with me, there will be Darcy Little Badger playing a human rogue, Kathleen DeVere as a human paladin, and Mur Lafferty as a Goliath barbarian.
Goliath.
So, looking forward to that fun.
I love Goliath characters.
Should be fun.
Sounds like a fun campaign.
Yeah.
And so those are my things. So, the major things I'm looking forward to this year. And now, it would be good to hear from Shaun.
I don't know if it'd be good to hear from me, but you're going to have to, whether you want to or not.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, hell.
Proceed.
Nobody picked one of the books so I had 2 books just in case someone picked one of them, and now I have to choose which one of the ones I'm going to say.
Just tell us on both.
Okay. Thank you for that. So one book I'm really looking forward to is John Chu's The Subtle Art of Folding Space.
Oh, yeah.
Look, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't even know what it's about. It has John Chu's name on it. I love his fiction. It's got a really cool cover, and that's it. That's all I needed to know. I want the book, and so it will show up on my doorstep at some point. It's probably about space somehow, or something. Look, Paul's read it already in chat. Paul's already read it. Thought I was going to have something over on you, Paul. Anyway, so I'm really looking forward to that. Congratulations to John Chu on getting that published. And then I had one that I thought would be an interesting, unexpected one. There is a book called The Republic of Memory by Mahmoud El-Sayed. I probably not quite got that name right, but someone can correct me. It is billed as basically a memory called Empire meets Children of Time. Mm-hmm. It is an Arab futurist novel set on a generation ship where basically the people revolt, realizing that they're going through all of this struggle on this generation ship for people they're never going to see again, empires they're never going to see again. so why would they bother? That is the basic description. There's obviously more going on. It sounds very, very interesting.
Mhm.
And I don't know, like I saw it on a list and I was like, yep, that's my kind of fiction. And so I'm excited to see it get picked up by Saga Press. And I want it in my brain. Okay, so that's my book. Media. So this will sound like a broken record, but I am excited for all the independent film Daniel and I are going to get to watch and talk and write about because we already got one from Deaf Crocodile that we're going to be covering, which I'm excited for, and I'm sure there's going to be more coming down the pipe, more independent horror, more interesting films. I'm just excited for that. I don't have a lot of energy left in my brain. So whatever I can get excited for is what I can get excited for. And that is something I'm going to get excited for because I have no idea what kind of weird film I'm going to watch. And then my other thing is a thing that is happening literally in a matter of days, which is I led programming this year for Capricorn, which was probably someone there that was their mistake. They shouldn't have let this happen. But I had led programming as the head. I was not alone. I did have Cassandra Moritz as my honorable and very excellent second. And we put together what I think is a pretty good program, but I won't know how well it's going to go off until we get there. And so I'm going to go see in a few days. It's literally the first full weekend of February. And we'll see how it goes. The guest list this year is pretty interesting. We've got Andrea Hairston, by the way, as our writing guest of honor. Very exciting.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of really cool people coming out. And so I don't know. It's going to be awesome. I get to be in conversation with Andrea Hairston because that's my prerogative. No, it was really just a matter of I was going to put myself in it, but if I could find somebody else who might be better, I was going to let them do it. But we couldn't find anybody that's better, so Andrea stuck with me. Anyway, but I've interviewed Andrea, so I think it'll be fine.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So, yeah, first time running a full convention program. I've only ever run like one track at a Worldcon, and that was a lot of work. This was even more work, and I'm not alive at this moment. It's hard to tell, but I'm actually a husk of a human now.
As somebody who ran the first Babylon 5 convention in the world, I understand. In 1995, I co-chaired StarQuest.
You didn't even have the technology I have today.
And Walter Koenig. Oh, yeah. And I ran 24-hour programming. So my hat is off to you. I did some programming for Worldcon. Programming is a hard road to go.
Yep. It is very tiring, and it is when I was like, yeah, I'll run it, and I was like, oh, okay, cool, because I've helped a second before, and I was like, all right, like it's just a step up, everything's fine. And then there was a point where we were like working on the program, and we were like, are we in charge of this thing and this thing and this thing and this thing? And the list of things we were in charge of just kept growing and growing. And we're like, nobody told us that we were supposed to be in charge of this. So I'm hoping that there are minimal amounts of mistakes, but I'm sure there's some things that are going to fall through the crack, and we'll just have to learn. So
just remember this. When you are at the convention, you may see the mistakes, but most of the convention attendees will not, because they won't know what you meant. All they will know is what is there. And they will be like, instead of having 2 cakes, they have 1. Yay, I have cake.
Yeah, they'll see cake. Yeah, we're right. You're right. We don't have cake. There's no cake. Sorry.
Not real, but it's just an example.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so we do have Daniel, Sandra, and Paul things. So I think we'll just go in kind of the same order. Daniel's thing, he has a book. It is Partially Devoured by Daniel Kraus, which I just think he chose that because it's also a Daniel. So, yeah. His media is Evil Dead Burn, directed by Sebastian Vanacek, coming out this year, which I know nothing about, but I assume that is some sort of sequel to the Evil Dead films. I'm curious. And then his other is Blood Feast and the Films of Herschel Gordon Lewis. These are also, so the AGFA is like a film, like a Patreon film screening thing of like lesser known films and so on. So presumably he's talking about films that are going to be screened or put together by them because he buys things from boutique Blu-ray makers because he has money and I don't. So there you go.
Well,
I just looked it up, and Evil Dead Burn is set in the Evil Dead franchise.
oh, nice.
Curious.
Oh, cool. Okay, so for Sandra's themes, we have book Platform Decay by Martha Wells.
Yeah.
Media is Murderbot Season 2, but also Slow Horses Season 6, which is totally fantasy. Laughing. And then her other is Butcheron in Calgary.
Is it BoucherCon or BoucherCon? BoucherCon?
Boucher. I probably butchered it, so BoucherCon? I will.
It's got to be a convention. So
It is definitely a convention,
Yes.
but I thought it was
And
BoucherCon.
set in Calgary, apparently.
Yes.
Boucher. Paul is saying in chat Boucher. So
BoucherCon. My
there we go.
apologies.
Fine.
No worries. Cool. All right.
Okay, well, anyway, anyone interested in listening to this can look that up and find out when it is, and it's in Calgary. Okay, so for Paul things, the book is Children of Strife by Adrian Tchaikovsky, the latest of his children's series, which started out with Children of Time, which had the sapient spiders in it. Paul wants to see where Tchaikovsky's rich world of human and post-human sapience, from spiders to crows, will go next. For media, there is a new movie version of The Odyssey coming out. Paul wants to see what Nolan will do with one of the texts of the Western tradition. And it can't be worse than the early 2000s Troy, which tackled the Iliad. It just can't!
I like that movie.
And for Paul's other, that is, he's planning a Death Valley photography trip in December 2026. Is Paul a good photographer?
Yes.
Paul says
Yes.
no. But he is a good photographer. Yes. But he says no. But he enjoys doing photography, and this is a chance to do it in a place every photographer wants to go. And of course, since it's in December, it won't be blazing hot. It may be very cold at night, who knows. But anyway, so yeah, that's Paul. And
that's it.
So I guess that's our recommendations and for this year.
Yeah. So, that's kind of the show. So for folks, if you'd like to let us know what you thought, or you want to tell us the things you're excited for this year or things you loved from last year, please, skiffyandfanty@gmail.com. You can reach out to us at any time. If you are in our Discord, which is via our Patreon, you can also mention it there. You can also go on the Patreon page at any point and talk to us there. So please do. We are on Blue Sky, Threads, Mastodon, YouTube, a whole bunch of other places. We have video versions of this show that go on our YouTube channel. They also go on our website, skiffyandfanty.com, so please find them there. And if you'd like to find all our socials and various links, just stick /skiffythings on the end of our webpage, and you will find a link to all of those lovely things. We will be live almost every Friday of this year at 7 p.m. Central on twitch.tv/alphabetstreams, which is my channel. The only exception will be February 6th, which I think is the Friday that's coming up, where we just won't have a live episode. But otherwise, we have plans for everything else. So please follow us there. And then, for the love of all that is sacred, please tell people about the show, share our stuff. If you can, review us on the apps. It does help a little bit. Just tell people about us because, frankly, finding people is just hard. I don't know how to do it anymore, and I'm old. And so and I'm not getting any younger. So please do. And then if you have money that you do not need for food, medication, housing, or other necessities, that is money that you can spend frivolously, please go to patreon.com/skiffyandfanty. $1 is like the lowest amount, and we'll take $1. That's perfectly fine. Helps us pay for hosting and other kinds of expenses, like the security problem last year, which we had to spend like $300 or something dealing with malware and all kinds of stuff. So every dollar does help, and it has been very nice for all the people that support us. Speaking of which,
a thank you to all of our Patreon supporters: Andrea the Alluring, Cameron the Chthonic, Catherine the Benevolent, Carrie the Divine, Chris the Candescent, Dan the Transient, Transient, Daniel the Cultured, David the Debonair, JC the Jocular, and Jeff the Gracious.
That was Carolyn the Benevolent.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And Joseph the Jovial. Sure. Joseph the Jovial, Juan the Junctional, KB the Kind, Karen the Kick-Ass, Kat the Kinematic, Matthew the Magnificent, Paul the Pious, Phoebe the Eloquent, Robert the Riveting, and Robin the Bold.
And of course, Ryan the Resilient, Sarah A the Sensational, Sarah E the Sublime, Sarah O the Rapturous, Scott the Gentleman, Terry the Thorough, Tanya the Triumphant, Trish the Imperturbable, and Victor the Valiant. If you know any Sarahs with other letters other than A, E, and O, we would like to get the other vowels and sometimes Y, so please have them join our channel.
You can find me, Jennifer Brozek, at jenniferbrozek.com. If you want pictures of my cats, find them on Instagram at Jennifer_Brozek. And if you want to see me on social media, I am most active on Blue Sky at Jennifer Brozek.
And you can find me, Trish, on Blue Sky at P.E. Matson, on Mastodon, TrishEM at newsy.social, and on my blog at www.whatsthewordnow.blogspot.com, and we are starting up reviews again on the Skiffy and Fanty blog, so you'll also find my thoughts about books and occasionally other things there.
Perfect. And you can find me, ShaunDuke.net, Alphabet Streams on Twitch. I stream there Wednesdays and Sundays at 6 p.m. Central if you want to watch a bunch of dorks play video games. And occasionally, hopefully this year, some TTRPG nonsense. And then patreon.com/thejoyfactor if you want to support me financially with money that you don't need. Please, for the love of God, do not give me money that you need. I will be fine. And then various socials and YouTube and whatnot at ShaunDuke.net/DukeThings. So, the bylaws have been updated. I now have to make them hopeful endings.
Oh,
so not just
okay.
happy. They must be hopeful. And my hopeful ending is that at this moment, while I may be tired and we may all feel various things, I think we can win. We can win.
I think so too. I will continue with my sign-off that I've been doing for the last year or so. Please take care of yourselves and of each other.
Yes.
And my general thought is life is not a zero-sum game. You don't have to lose for me to win. We will all rise together. So share the love.
Yay!
Absolutely. Well, on that note, hopeful ending and scene.